Every thought deserves its moment. This is Overthinking Out Loud.
Grab a drink, lean in, and let's overthink it together. Out loud. And welcome back to Overthinking It Out Loud. Second episode. Feeling pretty good.
Feeling great.
Our one listener's still tuning in, I'm sure.
They haven't left. They're waiting.
They're waiting for us. Well, today we're talking about adult friendships a little bit.
Yeah. And all the nuances that come along with adult friendships. Ups and the downs and all the things in between.
Yeah. There's a lot of ups and downs. Do you have a lot of friends? Okay, that's not weird. Let me back up. Do you have a lot, have you...
No, I love that. We're keeping this in. The answer to your question...
Do you have friends?
You're one of them, okay? The answer to your question is it's thinned out quite a bit. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay.
And mainly because I think my tolerance for bullshit has completely just crumbled. It's just I cannot.
Yeah.
I cannot. And that's the problem. And so I think I don't know who I was talking to about this, but if I've known you for over 2 years and we talk, fairly consistently, you're in. 2 years is my mark of I'm like, oh, the honeymoon phase. Oh my gosh, we're so great. Oh my gosh, I really like you. Oh my gosh. And then 2 years, something happens. And I'm like, boozled. I was bamboozled. Tricked, hoodwinked. And I don't know, that's definitely a personal thing, not in general, adult friendship thing, but I just believe that I can have a small circle and be perfectly fine, knowing that I'm not going to be bamboozled, that they know who I am, I know who they are, and it's just comfortable. And not of course things happen, you can get in tiffs here and there and what have you, but at the same time, it's they know you. It's been tried and true. You've moved past it. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you?
I thought I had a small circle. And then I feel like for my wedding stuff, I was like, my circle's a little bigger than I thought it was.
You do. You have a lot of friends. But they're really close friends.
I collect friends like Pokemon. Over time. No, actually, my circle is bigger than other people's.
Yeah.
I would say I have 8 to 10, probably 10.
Yeah.
10 to 12. I don't know. Really good friends.
Yeah.
But they're all people I've known a long time. People I met in middle school, some of my best friends I met in middle school.
Yeah.
Collected some in high school, collected some in college, some jobs I've collected friends.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Trauma bonding. You know what I mean? It's real.
Nothing like trauma bonding.
Nothing like it.
But yeah, so I guess I have a decent sized circle, but definitely not to say that I haven't made friends in the last couple of years, but I definitely my closest friends are 5+ years I've known them.
Yeah. Which is true. I feel like there's a time frame of can I tolerate this person any longer, or can I not tolerate this person any longer?
Yeah.
And I think it's when you're an adult, I feel like you can make that decision pretty clearly.
Yeah, because you know who you are. You just get really good at meeting people and immediately knowing if you're going to click or not.
Exactly. It's almost like we can play this cat and mouse game of maybe I like you, maybe I won't, but also I don't have time to continue to see if it's gonna work out. I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
So it's almost okay, if I know immediately I'm yeah, I like you. Okay, I'm gonna take this journey. We'll see where the journey goes.
Yeah. Yeah. But how do you the question really does become though, how do you know if someone's gonna be a decent friend or not. Like I don't think you do know.
That's
To your point, like
yeah.
it takes you kind of 2 years. Like once you reach the 2 year mark, like usually something crazy goes down, or they're just like a normal human being.
Right. And you're like, oh wait, like, oh, okay, okay, we're good. Like this is
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
I feel like, and maybe it's me, but I'm definitely the type of person that like loses touch organically.
Mm.
Like I look back on old photos of friends from college and high school, and I'm like, there was just a day where we just decided not to speak to each other again.
Yeah.
And it was just like, okay, like there wasn't a big falling out, even though I've had those, but a lot of them have just kind of fizzled out. Like I knew that they weren't a friend anymore just because I've grown, not because of anything that bad happened.
Yeah, and I
You
feel
know?
like that's really natural too, though, because I've had friendships where, like, for a couple years we're super close, and then eventually you just kind of lose touch. And I still like think they're amazing people,
Yeah.
but we just don't talk anymore.
Yeah.
I have plenty of those people in my life. I also have plenty of people where I'm like, I'm so glad that we are not friends anymore. I've had to full on break up with people before. I'm
Yeah.
like, this is not good. Luckily, like not in recent years.
Yeah.
Not in recent years. Hence why like all of my close friends are 5+ years that I've known them. Um, but yeah, like
Yeah.
that's always the worst. That's
It
the
is.
worst.
It is the worst. Like, I think that, of course I would want potentially like a bigger circle, but at the same time, I know I can't handle it. And that's
Mhm.
my own thing. Like, I think I'm self aware enough to know that, like, one, I'm not a good texter. All the people who know me
Yeah.
know
Same.
that it takes me 3 to 4 days to respond, maybe. Or if I don't respond at all, it's because I literally saw it and I forgot, and that's just who I am. But I'm also like the type of person who values quality time. So like, if I make the time to come see you, like, what if we're a long distance, or like seeing people in California that we're are really good friends with, like, I'm all in. Like,
Mhm.
my phone's away. I'm not like, we're having a conversation because I'm there to like connect with you, and
Mhm.
that is what I think a friendship is like. Like the texting and like, oh, look at this, what I did today. Like that's fine if it made me think of you and whatever, but like I can't do the consistent like, I need you to talk to me's.
Yeah, I feel like that's something that is more common when you're younger,
Yes.
but then as you get older, you're like, my life is too busy for that. And I think that's like a big thing in adult friendships is, can you go without talking for an extended period
Yeah.
of time and still be like totally cool when you see each other?
Yep.
Because I'm really bad at texting, don't really call people. Like I'm bad, and my friends know, and I feel really bad about it because I don't want them to think that I don't care about them, but I'm
100%.
also like, I saw it when I was like doing something really important and then forgot to respond to you. But I'm the same way. It's like when I get together with my friends, it's, like we're doing the things together. Like usually if I go visit my friend in Colorado, it's like we plan like a whole weekend doing stuff. And
Exactly. It's
and I love
intentional.
that. It's intentional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not just like the one off here and there's, and like it's almost like, hey, how was all of that? Like you almost like have more to like catch up on,
Mm-hmm.
and it feels more organic that way in my head. But yeah, I've had potential friends, which obviously didn't work out, where they're like, I need you texting all the time and like needing all of my
Ugh.
energy. And it's like, that's in adulting too. It's like, it's funny because you're like, oh, I'm too busy for that. It's like, what am I busy with? I don't have kids. I have the dog. I have a job. I have a husband. But it's all of those things take energy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to think about your other person now. You have to think about like the needs of your husband before anybody else. And it's not just me giving all my time to, and where I feel like it's like that's priority, the house is priority, my dogs are priority, and then it comes everything else. Do
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? There's more priority, and I know this probably sounds terrible, but at the same time, it's like friends are there to like supplement a part of your life that is like, it's a priority, but it's also like and hopefully a known thing of like we all have our own priorities.
Well, yeah, and half the time your schedule is not going to align with your friend's schedule. So you know, I'm texting you at like 6:30 in the morning when I wake up and realize I didn't respond to your message. And then you're texting me 2 days later at like 12 p.m. when I'm in a meeting. You know,
Right.
like that's just kind of how it works.
It's just how it is. It is life. Like life changes so much. It's not like you have, you know, you go to school and you go to classes and then you're like, okay, what are you doing right now? It's like there's so much more like responsibilities that have to take priority over other things.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, can those friendships hang through all of that? And if they can, then they're true friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially people that you've met when you were younger, when you had, a very different life. Like, just crazy to me. Like, my best childhood friend, like, we met in middle school, like, we went through high school together. We, like, even when we went to the same college, we spent every single day together, I'm pretty sure, our freshman year of college, like, if we could.
Yeah.
And then, you know, that, like, I think after freshman year, we started to kind of, like, we had our own things going on, very different, like, lives. But we just started making like intentional time to see each other. But if you can make it through all those changes, it's like a lifer there.
Literally. It's true, exactly. Like you have to be able to go with the flow of the other person's life too. And I think I probably had a little bit more of like adult friendship falling out like within the last 3 years, I would say 3-4 years. And I think it's like moving from California to Arizona and then like being like, oh yeah, like let's make all the friends. And I almost had to redo that whole process.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's okay, I'm gonna make all these friends, and then I'm like, wait, do I like you? Or was this like a filler? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or like, was I just a different version of myself then? Yeah. I feel like the older you get, the more people are just in different stages of their lives. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you kind of, in a sense, like grow up, and other people are still trying to grow up. Yeah.
Exactly.
And like, it's just like, we don't have much to talk about anymore. Like, I used to be so into, well, and not that I was like a dramatic person, but I was just always like somehow involved in other people's drama. Mm-hmm. Like I just knew about it, or, you know, this friend or that friend. Yeah. I don't know. I guess I was just like more into it. Now I'm like, I don't care.
Right. You're like I don't. Your problems are actually not my problems. Like I forgot about that. You know what I mean? It's like I can be there and support you, but I don't have to fix your problems.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I tend to be like, and then when you're so involved, then you're like, oh wait, that's my responsibility now to fix their problems. Right? Mm-hmm. It's like you kind of get wrapped up into all of that.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh wait, when I have I have more priorities, and now I'm like, I actually can't.
Yeah.
Do that.
And I think it can be really unhealthy. Look, like I'm all for dropping everything for a friend because you care about them and you need to be there for them. But I think like having that expectation all the time from your friends is just outrageous.
It's unhealthy.
Yeah, like I think if I expected all my friends to just drop everything for me because I was like having a really hard time, that would be unfair because they have their own lives going on. But there are people like that. Yes. Who like just assume you don't care about them enough because you couldn't like leave work in the middle of the day to go like make them feel better or something.
Yeah, or like, you know? miss dinner with your husband or dinner with your boyfriend or whatever because they had a really hard day. Yeah, and they want like, you to come over and watch a movie with them. Like,
yeah, or like you know, cancel plans because you're just like totally burnt out, and then like the person gets mad. Like people can be really controlling in friendships. Mm-hmm. And jealous in friendships. Yes. I've had my moments even of being like, oh, you have this new friend that you hang out with all the time? What's that about? Yeah. I've had my moments for sure. Yeah. But I think the older I get, the more I'm like, wow, I get it. Yeah. I get it. Also, it doesn't mean that you don't like me just because you went and hung out with somebody else or like a different friend of ours or something. Yeah. You know?
And it's true. It's like you have to learn how to let that all go. And I think it's like at the beginning when you're young and like in your 20s, you're like, we're just we're partying, we're having a good time. Everything is about a good time. There's no understanding of like any deeper feelings than that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like you're just like, okay, what are we doing next weekend? Okay, what we doing? And then when you start to grow up a little bit, It's more about that. It's like, okay, like, how do I feel in this moment? Do I even feel like going out? Do I even feel like, am I tired? Like, what's going on with me first? Instead of like, okay, we're here for the good time.
Yeah.
You know.
Have you ever had a moment where you're like at like a social event or party or something and you're just like, do I even like these people?
Yes.
I had that moment a couple years back. I was hanging out with some people who just like I knew for a long time. And it was just always, we just always all hung out together. And I remember like kind of just leaving. At the end of the night, I was like, I don't think I like hanging out with these people. I don't think that this serves me at all anymore. And why am I pretending that I want to be around these people? Like, I think that was probably the last time that I wasted my time and energy. That sounds really harsh, but it was the last time that I spent my time and energy on people that I actually didn't really want to be friends with anymore.
Totally. Yeah, it's true. I think I've had that experience as well. It's just like, I think it was like a party crowd. Like, I used to call them like my party friends, and I was like,
party friends.
My party friend. I literally felt like it was two different people. Like, I would go out and I'd party, and then I'd come home and it's like normal. You know what I mean? Or whatever normal is.
So you had two different friend groups?
Yeah.
Your party friend group and then your
like chill friend group. You could just,
chill friend group.
Yeah. And I was like, I feel like this is totally disingenuous. Like, I feel completely, totally different. Like, and not that I had to choose, like, because I like to go out and like, if I want to, not as much. Let's be honest. But before, I was like, no, I still want to like live my 20s like really young. I want to go out to bars, blah blah blah. And then there was just a day that I woke up and I was like, this fucking sucks.
I'm tired.
Literally, I was like, this sucks. And then I was like, all we can do is drink together. That's all we can do.
Well, and then also, can you even like get along with these people sober? Like, do you have a friendship outside of the partying?
Right. No.
And you didn't.
And the answer was no.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like, it's not like we'd get like totally blasted every time, but it was always around drinking. We were always at the bars. We were always dancing. Like,
yeah,
those types of things, like, which is fun. And we, went to the lake together. We did a lake day, and like, it was fun stuff. But again, it was just a totally different vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of just wake up one day and you're like, I think I'm good.
Yeah, I think I'm over this actually. And like, good luck to you and the rest of your life. Like, no hard feelings, but I don't want to hang out with you anymore.
No.
And I think that's like those situations where you just kind of like naturally stopped talking. Although, yeah, there's definitely situations in which I was like, I'm going to actively avoid you at this point.
Yeah, I'm going to block you from everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a bad friend breakup in high school. Oof. And it was one of those things where, okay, it might be an unpopular opinion, but it's totally okay to keep certain friendships separate. Like, agreed. All good to like, have everybody know who each other is and meet each other, but you don't all have to hang out all the time.
No.
Like, you don't have to like bring this friendship into that friendship. Like, because also different friends bring out different parts of your personality.
Exactly.
And I think that, yeah, like not everybody has to be friends and get along and hang out together. And so this friend that I had, I was very close with. And basically, like, I had two best friends. And I introduced them, and then we all started hanging out. All three of us, three best friends. But then the jealousy set in. And it was like this one friend, she just couldn't handle me having another best friend. Like, could not handle, felt like it just started going off the deep end, like accusing me of like purposely not inviting her places or like literally trying to sabotage her. And I was like, what? Like, excuse me? Like, just like outrageous
and
claims.
That's immaturity, right?
Yeah. And like, we were a lot younger, and it was just one of those situations where I was like, you are unfortunately like bringing me more stress than like positivity and happiness in this friendship. And like, I just can't, we need to break up. Like, I actually had to be like, we can't be friends anymore. It's for the best.
Yeah.
And it was rough.
Ugh. That's so hard, because you're like, I care about you, but you're actually like making me miserable.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You're making me miserable. And there was other stuff. There was other stuff that was revealed with time, like
Sure.
lying about really weird things. And just, I was like, do I even actually know you at this point?
Oof.
Because I feel like there's a lot of like weird stuff that's being uncovered that you were lying about. And yeah, it was for the best,
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah. You're like, okay, so I can see why she's clingy. Okay, I can see all the red flags now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the red flags, like once I was like, okay, I think I need to be done with this, then all the red flags came out and I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. We're done here.
Yeah.
And we like made amends later and we both were like, okay, yeah, now that we're older, it is what it is. We're cool.
Right.
Never really talked again after that, but like
yeah, but like yeah, you're like, okay, if I ever see you on the street, I'll say hello.
Yeah. Yeah.
See you at the store type
And
of thing.
I'm not really someone who needs closure, honestly. I maybe at times, but like in different friendships, I'm like, doesn't really matter to me if we have closure or not because I was right and you were wrong.
Yeah, that's true. You're like, actually,
that's exactly what they think about me too. They're like,
I'm sure they're probably like, I was right, so I'm gonna leave it.
Yeah. But yeah, I was like, whatever. We don't even closure's great and all, but don't always need it.
Yeah.
So
I think it's a bummer. Like I think about like the recent friendships I've since departed and like they're in in certain photos that I wish they weren't in because they are gonna follow me for the rest of my life and
ooh,
like those types of things. And like I just think about it and I'm like, even though like every time I look at these pictures I'm like, it hurts, right? It hurts a little bit because like it was a really important time in my life.
Yeah.
And like at the time I really did think that we were really good friends. And it just like somehow some way like it all just came crashing down. And not big, and I just think it's because I'm not even gonna say I was young because I wasn't. It was literally like 3 years ago. But for whatever reason it felt like a breakup. And I've never like and a breakup that I have never experienced before.
Mm-hmm.
And to this day, I'm like, "Ow, it kind of hurts," when I look at it. And
well,
like,
yeah, because I feel like you have to grieve the friendship that it was. Like at one point you were really close, and at one point you knew everything about each other, and you leaned on each other for everything. And then it's like, oh, that's not there anymore. Yeah. That person no longer exists. So yeah, you're like you're grieving it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think about it, and then I'm like trying to justify everything that I did. Or everything that I said in the moment, or like, like, oh, how are they now? I wonder if they're like good, or like, those things you just think about. But at the same time, it's like you have to be able to like be okay with the decisions that you made, and like knowing that it was better for you, probably better for them, better for everything. And that's just like adulting.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Yeah.
What's the meanest thing a friend has ever done to you?
Oh my God.
Where you're like, wow, we're not friends, apparently.
Okay. So this is the first thing that's popping into my head. This friend, so it was almost a year after I was married. So I just got married, and it was kind of like a double whammy because we didn't go on a honeymoon, and we didn't and we were celebrating our anniversary kind of like at the same time. So we were going on 2 trips. We were going to Mexico for our anniversary, and then we were going to Europe for our honeymoon. It just happened to fall on the same day, but whatever. And we were working on this project together, and it was just like a fun little project or whatever. But I mean, they definitely took it very serious, like super, super serious. And so did I. Like I cared about it, but like I wasn't gonna like my life was still going on during this project. And so they had asked me to literally postpone my trips. They had asked me to move my anniversary trip and to move my honeymoon so that we could work on the project.
Mm-hmm.
Point blank.
And it's one thing to ask, like, wow, you really had all the audacity to even ask.
And to me, this showed me everything I needed to know.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's like,
well, I mean, yeah, you didn't move it, right? Like you didn't.
absolutely
Yeah.
not.
You're like, no, I'm not
I was
moving
like,
it.
I'm sorry, why are we even having this conversation? And we were actually at a restaurant at the time
Mm-hmm.
when they were telling me this, and I was just like, I literally point blank, I was like, absolutely not. Like I'm even just surprised you even asked.
Mm-hmm.
And they decided to literally yell at me in the restaurant, stand up and yelling at me in the restaurant.
Ooh, like a parent to a child.
Yeah, it storms off. It just storms off.
Yikes.
And I was like, what is happening? Like, I don't. First off, then I was like, was it me? Did I say something? And then I was
Yeah,
like,
you started racking your brain like, how did this all go downhill? Like, what did I say something specifically really mean?
yeah.
Or
Like, was I it? Was I the one? And then I was like, wait, no. And then I guess like maybe it wasn't like the meanest thing that's ever happened to me. It's not like getting bullied, like she stuffs her bra.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like that, which has happened to me. Middle school is actually treacherous.
Oh yeah, everybody's like out for blood.
Out for
Always.
blood
in
middle school.
Oof. Yeah, everyone's going through puberty, all the hormones.
Oh god. Like I mean, even high school was like really wasn't that big of a deal for me anyway. Like I didn't care a lot, to be fair. Like I didn't care about a lot of things. I just kind of did my own thing. But I think that was like something that stuck with me the most was like it was mean to even ask. It was like almost like they had no regard for anything of me. So that's why I thought it was mean.
Well, yeah. It's like you're supposed to be one of my closest friends / my colleague.
Yeah.
Like, this is important to me. Why would you even ask that of me? Like, why would you put me in the position to have to choose between you and literally my husband and my honeymoon?
Correct.
And like, I get that this thing is really important to you. It's important to me too. But like, there needs to be a line. There needs to be boundaries. There needs to be a line that you don't cross, because like, what's your husband gonna do, right? When you're like, gotta move the trip because work, like, no.
I think I would get divorced right then and there. Like he'd be like, we're done.
And be like, he would say, that's telling me all I need to know about you. It's like the same thing.
It's the exact same thing. And also that's just not who I am.
Mm-hmm.
It's never who I was. And it was interesting to me to think that was gonna go well.
Mm-hmm.
When it's brought up, I assume that they thought it was gonna go well. When I don't know how people think, like, and again, I think that's just like the switch of the minds, right? It's like people now have new priorities. Like we need to work together in these friendships to continue the friendship, right? It's like it's a two-way street. It's always a two-way street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the communication is huge on that too.
Yeah. What about you?
Dang. I was trying to think like I don't know that anything ever like incredibly mean has happened to me. I had a really good friend in high school / college, one like very close guy friend. My sister started dating him. And we were like, it was great. Like I thought it was fine, whatever. Like it was weird at first. I was like, what?
You're dating my
but
sister?
Then like they started dating and it was fine, whatever. And then eventually they had a falling out for various reasons. And it was like one of those situations where they broke up, got back together, broke up, got back together, like a couple of times. And one of the times we were just like hanging out, drinking at his house. He drank too much and just started like dogging on my sister. Like my sister was not in the room. She was like already asleep, like in a different room. He just starts basically trash talking my sister to me. And I'm like, whoa, okay. So like, first of all,
the audience is
wrong person to talk to about this, because regardless what my sisters do and say, I will fight to the death for them.
Yeah,
I will.
Of course.
I will always like come to their side, like for better for worse, really.
Like I can empathize with what she may or may not have done, but at the same time, you can't be talking shit.
Yeah, and I warned him too. It was just like, you gotta stop. Yeah, like you're crossing a line. You gotta stop. continued on, started calling her names. And I was like, cool, we're leaving.
Yeah.
I'm done here.
Right.
I'm done having this conversation with you. I asked you to stop. You didn't. You are my friend. She's my sister. And if you can't keep this up, we're leaving.
Yeah.
So I went upstairs. I got my sister. I was like, we're leaving. And she's like, like, you know, what's happening?
Yeah.
She starts like getting upset because she doesn't know what, like, she's like, what's going on? Why are you guys mad at each other? And then, yeah, it escalated. It escalated hard. Lots of name calling, lots of like some got physical.
Oh my god.
Started calling me names. And then called my sister, see you next Tuesday. And I was like, say that one more time, I punch you in the face.
Yeah.
And he did. So I punched him in the face.
Wait, that is incredible.
And like,
I don't condone violence, but I'm here
now
for
with my therapist. Literally, we were talking about it last week, actually. Like, it came up and she literally laughed. And I was like, like, I feel kind of bad about this now. Like, looking back, I'm like, ooh, I assaulted somebody. But like, but in the moment, like, I was, you know, sticking up for myself, sticking up for my sister. I was like, you do not put your hands on my sister. You do not call her names. And he did both. And I warned him. I punched him in the face. He was like, oh, you like that? I was like, yeah, you want me to do it again? He's like, yeah. Punched him in the face a second time.
Wait, okay, this is so good. Okay, keep going.
And then I was like, let everybody out! Like, it was like a couple of my friends were there. We were like, get in the car. He's like, literally follows us out, screaming. His face is bleeding. Literally gave him a bloody nose and like a split lip. It was bad. And I was young too. I was like 18 or 19 at that point.
But also,
but yeah, like it was like yelling, like hitting the hood of the car, backing out of the driveway. It was so trashy. It was so trashy. It got so bad, and like, and you know, he apologized. They got back together after that. Like, they stayed together for a bit after that. Wow. And I told him, like, he apologized and was like, cool, we're not friends.
Yeah, like,
I don't care what you two do. We are no longer friends. Your business is your business with my sister, but you crossed the line and there's no going back. So we're done.
So yeah, never talking again. Thanks.
Oh my God. That was the weirdest part, is that they didn't break up. I was like, I punched someone in the face for you. And like, you know, she had to figure that out for herself. Sure. Like, she had to figure out, like, she needed to move on.
Sure.
But they both needed to move on. And, you know, it's all for the better. I ended up having to like work with him a couple of years later in like kind of just like part of an event I was doing kind of capacity. And that was weird, because I was like, oh no, I literally have not seen or spoken to this person since this incident. And I'm not sorry.
Yeah.
Not sorry.
No.
I guess I was sorry that it escalated, but I was not sorry that I cut off the friendship and was just like, we're done.
For sure.
So that was super weird. And we ended up having to have like basically like this kind of side conversation of like, cool, so like this happened and we're just gonna move on. Yeah. We're just gonna pretend it didn't happen, kind of, and just move on and like work together peacefully, and it was fine.
We be in the present. We can't think about
it was fine, and we were cool and whatever. Yeah, that was weird.
Oh my gosh, wait, that's actually so epic.
Oh,
personality part 2 that I didn't know about Jamie.
yeah. I will kill you if you. No, just gotta watch out. I have a really hard time sticking up for myself. I don't like conflict for myself. But if you mess with someone that I care about, like, you are going down hard. Yeah. Like, not good. It's not going to be good for you. It's not going to end well for you. You will get punched in the face
twice.
Because I have like an inner rage that I don't let out very often. like a deep anger. Yeah. And I think like in those moments it just comes out of me.
Yeah.
And I like, it's like a blackout. Like, I'll be mean. Yeah. And so I really try to like keep that, shove that down to the bottom.
But I mean, I can see how that would trigger that. I mean, it's one, you told him to stop, so you were literally trying to tell him to stop talking. I understand that you're upset, but this is crossing a line. I need you to stop. And then you tried to leave, He continues to escalate when you're like, I'm going to remove myself from the situation.
Yeah, like, literally stop following me. Like, I'm trying to go.
Yeah, like, it seems like you did everything you could in that moment to not let the demon out, and then at some point, you're like, fuck it.
Yeah, unleash.
Yeah.
Unleash the beast.
Because he fucking deserved it.
Yeah.
Whoever that guy is, he deserved it. He deserved it.
Yeah.
And I doubled down on that.
That's like, yeah. It was wild. I'm pretty sure my whole family knows about it. And they were just like, wow, like, you had that in you? I was like, yeah, it's ever present.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah, so, like, don't try me.
Yeah, don't cross me. Actually, you can cross me. I'll let you walk all over me, apparently, but don't cross people I like.
Up to the ends of the earth, but not for me.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's actually, it's true. It's like, you know, how far will you go for a friend? How far will you go for a partner? How far will you go? And I'm like, I think about that, and I'm like, I don't know. I feel like in my younger years, I would have been super reactive. Like, I used to be such an angry kid. Like, just so angry. Everybody's doing me wrong. I'm just so mad. Nobody's listening to me. And, like, I literally have, like, even to this day, like, I have, like, those, like, dreams where I'm just screaming. And I'm like, no one is listening to me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I really have. It's, like, deep-rooted.
Yeah.
And I just feel like, you know, I've grown up. I've gone, you know, therapy cracks. Therapies for everybody. Where I don't let myself get to that point anymore. And, like, it's like, I almost have to be like, it's not that serious. You know? Like, I have to really, like, take that approach to it. Or it's like, you know, or I'm just like, you know, this is a you problem. It's not a me problem.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this is all with you, and it honestly makes them more mad, which to me is hysterical. And, like, that's how I get my win, is seeing them get more and more and more and more upset from my non-reactions. So that's how I get my wins now.
Good tactic.
You know?
Not reacting at all.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay, well.
That's interesting. Yeah. I do this whole thing with John Luke. He started doing it back to me, actually, which is annoying. But
like, damn it, you learned.
When he just, like, frustrated me, I'm just like, that's interesting. And then I just, like, walk away, and he's like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean by that's interesting? Huh? Like, what? Are you upset? Like, I don't know. Like, whatever. Do whatever you want to do. Right.
Like, well, I'm indifferent. And he's like,
I think that was really just egging him on. That's actually not being indifferent. That's literally just like, I'm just gonna dig. Like, that's definitely not being, like, chill about it.
Yeah. Not being chill.
Literally stirring the pot.
You're like, you know what I've been doing? I've been stirring the pot more.
Yeah. Actually, in 2025, I would like to stir the pot more.
Yeah.
I'd like to cause some more drama in my life. I think it's getting a little too boring. Not enough drama.
Maybe I need to find a new friend to stir it up. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, my friends are all like, yeah, my friends don't really have a lot of drama. I have enough drama in my family. It's fine.
Literally. Genuinely, like, I could not have more friends with drama. I can't. It's not happening. But I feel like with all of that and, like, drama and all that, I just feel like it's been also something I've learned to know when to, like, tap out on certain social situations. Like, we used to have people over all the time.
You did.
And, like, somehow we're like, this is kind of nice. Not to have anybody over. Or it's like being very intentional about when, you know, or like who comes over more. We're like more about the who than the what. But,
yeah.
Because it's like, it's exhausting to, like, host people who aren't, like, just chill, right? They're like, yeah, like, you see a hairball in the corner, but, like, sorry about it. You know what I mean? Like, fuck. Or, like, those types of things where it's like, yeah, my bathroom could be cleaner. This could be done. But it's not. I'm in my PJs. We're here. We're outside. We're having a good time.
Yeah, normalize just hanging out in your PJs or, like, just sweats. You know what? We don't have to dress up for a party.
We don't.
I do love dressing
chill
up,
out?
but like, let's just wear pajamas.
Why can't we just be cool?
That's how you know you have a good friend, is you can
Yes.
like wear your gross, disgusting, stained pajamas that don't match.
Literally wake up, wear the same clothes all day, and then go to that person's house in your pajamas.
In your pajamas, yeah. Yeah. I would love to do that more. I actually do that all the time.
Yeah.
Here, yeah, I'm always in sweats, even in like meetings, like online meetings.
Oh yeah.
I'm like business, and then like pajama bottoms. I'm like, I'm half getting ready today.
I literally actually haven't even been trying on video calls. Yesterday I was wearing a "You're Killing Me" small sweatshirt. I just don't care. I'm like, whatever, it's a freaking sweatshirt. But thankfully our jobs get a little bit chiller than that.
Yeah.
They can,
I feel like video meetings is like whatever. Like in person, maybe try a little bit more.
Yeah,
but
we'll
like,
try a little more.
yeah. Yeah. Let's just start hanging out in our pajamas all the time. Let's do that.
I'm here for that. Like, why do we gotta try so hard? We don't have to try. Why do we have to try?
I'm done trying.
I'm so done trying.
I'm done trying, honestly.
And it's like, there is a time and a place for like a whole shebang. There's a time and a place to do like a tablescape. There's a time and a place to like plan a whole thing. But it's just a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's more effort like it's just more effort that maybe this year we've just like decided that we're like maybe next year, maybe we'll pick it up next year.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, ooh. Probably not, but
yeah, probably maybe
probably
just the Halloween
not
party.
but
maybe just the Halloween party. Because typically
oh, you're talking about your parties. I thought you meant about like trying more. And I was like,
Oh.
probably not for me next year. I won't be trying any harder next year at all. Probably less.
Probably less.
Yeah.
We try too hard.
You meant the parties. I'm sorry.
But also trying in general. It's a good one.
Yeah.
Trying in general. I know, like, because typically I have a yearly Halloween party, and I'm really into it. I'm really into my yearly Halloween parties. But this year, I just couldn't get myself to get it together. And, you know, traveling for the month straight.
Yeah, we literally traveled for 2 months straight.
Yeah.
You got
Once a
home
week.
like the day before Halloween.
I literally got home on Halloween.
How are you supposed to have a whole party?
I don't know. I guess I thought I would be better. I don't know. Like, but that's the thing. It's like I would have had it on the second, right? Whatever that Saturday was. But again, it's like the planning of the games. It's printing stuff out. It's getting all my decor out. It's like planning my costumes. And that's the thing is like if I go, I'm going all the way in.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm planning the party, I'm all
Yeah.
in. So that's the thing. I did not have the energy
To
go
be
all
all in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's fine. Like, at least you recognized it far enough in advance where you're like, okay, I didn't really invite anyone yet, so I don't have to like
Everyone else
full
already
on
made plans.
cancel this. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I think especially in our job and just in general, like you experience that social burnout. You're like, I know I've been traveling for 2 months and I haven't seen any of my friends, but I've been like on this whole 2 months with all these people, like, and I just don't have the energy to do anything.
No.
Like anything formal, right? Like PJ hangout, cool. But like
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, we don't have to talk? Awesome.
yeah,
Like,
turn on a movie, not say anything to each other, great. Like
perfect. Love being here with you.
Yeah, the social burnout is real, especially as an adult. Like
It's so, like, I need, like, a good
It's-
3 days to recover.
Yeah.
From any social scenario, honestly.
doesn't matter what it
It
is.
doesn't matter what it is. And I don't know what it is about it, but, and it's not like it's exhausting in the moment, but it's not like I'm on by any means, but it feels tiring.
Mm-hmm.
But especially at work. It's more like I need 3 days from like a work thing, which our work is very much in front of people.
Mm-hmm.
It's very much dealing with everybody's personalities. It's dealing with a lot of fucking people. Like at one event, we probably deal with 100 different people at once.
Yeah, minimum.
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 And
Yeah.
they all need something from me. Right?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, okay, like I can deal with that. And then it's like dealing with clients, and then you go out to dinner with your clients, and then you're on, and then you work with colleagues, and then you're on with them, and then it's just, and you have to continue that. And then when you do that for 2 months straight, yeah, I need a good 2-3 weeks to recover.
Yeah. If you don't hear from me, like, I'm probably sleeping on it. Like, I don't know. Yeah, it's tough. Like, I used to be able to go. I had no stop. I could hang out with I used to like plan multiple hangouts in a day, which was a whole thing in itself. That was stupid. Like, oh, I'm gonna breakfast with this person until this time, and then I'm gonna go to lunch with this person. Like, actually, and it was just exhausting. I don't know how I did it. I think back and like, I don't know how I survived that. I do not have. First of all, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But also, even if I wanted to, like, I just don't have. I don't have the capacity to live a life like that anymore, and that's okay with me.
Like, that's growing up.
Yeah.
That's growing up.
But also, again, like, the good friendships are the ones where they recognize, like, okay, like, totally got it. You've been MIA, and that's all right. Like, you've had a lot going on, and when you're ready, we can like debrief, like talk all about it.
Exactly. And that's how that's like, okay, they get it, I get them, and that's what an adult friendship now looks like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And just, yeah, your priorities are kind of like, you can have different personalities, but you have like similar priorities, I guess. You recognize that.
Yeah, it's an awareness thing, I think, and then just like meeting people where they're at and being okay with not being on the same page one day, or not being on the same page that month, and being like, okay, let's see how next month goes. And being okay with that.
Yeah.
Just being fine with or just meeting people where they're at.
Yeah.
And I think that's just kind of like a learned thing.
It is. And honestly, like, it's good that, like, to have, I'm good with my adult friendships. Like, I don't know how to make friends anyway, so.
Making friends when you're older is tough.
It is.
It's really, really hard. And I actually think about this all the time. It's like, I don't really even have that many hobbies to like make new friends. Like,
right?
I don't even have that many hobbies. Like, I genuinely, because I actually talked about this with my therapist a lot. It's like, because the work that we do, and it's so like sporadic, that I can't commit to anything. Like, I can't commit to like, I'm gonna call it intramural, but that's not true. But like an adult like beach volleyball league.
Or a kickball league. You're literally like in another state doing an event like half of the weeks that like
I can't commit.
Yeah, literally my friend a couple weeks ago asked me to join a volleyball team. I was like, that sounds fun. And then I looked at the dates and was like, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work for me.
Well, that's the thing. It's like you may have to get up and go within the week.
Yeah.
2 weeks, probably. And like you can't plan it out that far. But it's like, I think everything just like every new like way to make friends, every new hobby requires commitment. Like, I was like, oh, I would love to get into country dancing. Like, I used to dance all the time, and like I'm not flexible anymore. So like I cannot do hip hop. Is not going to happen for me. I'm going to look like this. Like, and for the listeners, I'm moving like a stick figure.
Literally, popping
it. Not it, but like my back's not curving. There's no body roll happening here. It's just straight angles. Yeah. So like I can't even do that anymore. And because you need to commit to learning the dances, and you have to go every week, and you have to have like potentially a partner. And I'm like, oh my God, like what hobbies out there don't require commitment? And I'm thinking about it, and it's like they're individual hobbies. It's knitting.
Like I was gonna say crochet, like. Yeah, honestly, like
reading.
If y'all have suggestions of things that don't require like a ton of commitment, that could be a hobby. Let us know, because
but also requires more people than yourself.
Yeah. Like, okay, I can have a hobby of something that I do by myself, because that's easy. But
right.
Yeah, with other people.
And
you can do like semi-regularly, and isn't a huge commitment.
Yeah. And I was like, ooh, maybe a book club. And I was like, but like, what if I can't make the club?
Oh, that's so funny, because I've been invited to book clubs, and I'm like, mine isn't, am I going to make it to book club? Which that in itself, yeah, that's a big commitment. Mine is like, I don't want to read the books that you're reading.
That's true. Because you also have to find a niche of the type of books that you like to read.
Yeah.
But then it's like when you talk about it, I'm like, how much can I say about said book?
Yeah.
Like that, like, because I don't know you like that, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, now I'm like, how do I show my vulnerability about what I think about this book when I mostly read romance? Like, that's gonna be, that's a hot take in of itself. Like, reading romance books, you know,
spicy romance.
Yeah, smuts.
Yeah,
as I call it, smut. But you know, it's like I've literally been racking my brain on those types of things, and it's like I've been suggested like go to a young professionals group, and I have.
Ugh, I have too.
They're all life coaches, and I'm like, stop trying to sell me life coaching. I just want a friend.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, well, have you thought about this? Like, life coaching.
Yeah, like I came here to meet people, not to like
be sold.
Yeah, not to like buy whatever product you sell, like during your
and spend $1,000 just to talk to somebody. No.
I already pay my therapist for that.
Literally, and I pay her enough. Yeah. Like I don't have more leftover funds.
Yeah.
So it's so interesting to me. I'm like, what can I do? And I literally can't think of anything.
I'm gonna try to think of some things.
So would love suggestions, please.
Yeah. Some of my friends and I started doing a game night, which isn't really a hobby. I do love playing games, actually. I don't know that I would say like write that down as a hobby, but I love to play games. And my friends and I, we've really only done it twice, so we'll see if it actually becomes like a recurring thing. Yeah. But we just get together and we each bring a game and we just like hang out and play games.
I like that.
Yeah, that could be like a fun thing, just playing games with people.
Okay. I think I can get behind that.
Yeah, you love games.
I love games.
I think we play we play at least one game every time we're hanging out.
I have to. I don't know why. It's weird. It's just something that I like to do.
Yeah, like gets you going. You also like get to know people better or whatever. Yeah. I'm all for games. I love them.
I'm also down for the strategy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Clue is by far my favorite game to play.
I love Clue. You know what I hate? Settlers of Catan. Which is
it like Risk?
It's so I don't even know. I literally couldn't explain to you how to play that game except you're like stealing like hay from each other, like building materials, like oh, you have some brick, like I don't know. I really don't know how to play that game. Maybe that's why I hate it so much. Because it was just so confusing. I was like, literally a game should not take this long to explain to me. If it takes multiple rounds of us playing this game for me to understand it, like I'm done.
We're over.
Yeah.
Is it like D&D, or what's it called? Dungeons and Dragons, where it's like half made up based on like whoever the host is, and like half of it is actual gameplay?
Maybe.
Because the host like makes.
I think I like zoned out for half of that game. Settlers of Catan. I was just like, huh.
Okay, so definitely not playing that game.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
I don't know if y'all think that it's a good game. Please tell me why, because I don't get it.
Okay, we need suggestions on hobbies, and we also need somebody to write the dummies, Settlers of Catan for dummies.
Yeah. Tell me why I should play that game. Oh, God. I have a really good hot take. Okay, so I had a different hot take coming into this, but then throughout this conversation about adult friendships.
Ooh, we got a new one. Okay.
I have a new one. And you know what my hot take is?
What is it?
It's like, why? It's a question.
Okay.
Why do people continue to hang out with someone that they don't even like? Like people who continue to hang out with a friend that they literally don't even like and just talk shit about, like, when they're not around. I'm just like, just stop hanging out with them. If you don't like them, why are you wasting your time and energy? Like, what is the point? What are you getting out of this?
Yeah, I agree. I think about I actually think about this often because I have somebody in my life who does that often. And I literally, like, they don't even talk to me about them because they know how pissed I get. I'm just like, I genuinely don't fucking understand.
Yeah.
Based on our when we first started this conversation, it's like, we are too busy to deal with bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently not them. Where do you find the time? Also, the energy you could be spending with this person, it could be put elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what is it about this person that you feel like you can give energy towards?
Yeah.
But then also hate them at the same time.
Yeah. Like, it's one thing, I know a lot of people have different, like, family dynamics, and they're like, oh, like, I don't really like this person in my family, but I feel like whatever, that's family.
It's family.
But, like, someone who's not blood related, that you have, like, you have the freedom to not be their friend.
Yes.
Like, what is it? Like, is it the fallout? Are you afraid of the fallout? Like, what would happen with all your other friendships based on this person? Like, you don't want to hurt their feelings. Like, I don't get it. And earlier I was talking about how I reached a point where I was like, why I'm not going to, like, spend my time hanging out with people I don't like.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think for the last couple of years, I have just adopted that. Like, people will ask me, like, oh, you want to hang out with this group? No,
I don't.
No, actually I don't. And not in a mean way. Just I don't like that person that you invited.
Yep.
You're welcome to, I guess, be friends with them even though you don't like them. But I'm not going to spend my time hanging out with that person.
No.
I'm not going to put myself through the torture of being in that person's presence when the whole time I just want to bash my head into a wall.
Also,
that was really aggressive.
No, but it's true, because it's like, it can get to that point of just like, this is just, it's too much. First off,
it's toxic. Like, why would you have that kind of toxic energy in your life? Ugh.
Literally. And like, I have like a relationship of mine when I think about this, and it's almost like they can't let go of who that person was. Like, there was some time in their friendship that they are latching onto, and it's almost like an abusive partner, almost. And not an abusive in a way, but like, there's things that, like, but maybe they'll change back.
Like, they get glimpses of the person they used to be, so they're like, oh, I have hope.
You have hope for it to be that way all the time, but it's not that way all the time. And it can be like that 1 out of the 10 times you hang out. But like, is that enough for you?
If you are only, like, cool to be around 1 out of the 10 times I'm hanging out with you, you're out. You're done. Bye. I give people a couple of chances. Yeah. And it's not like a conscious thing where I'm like, strike one for you. It's just like, I try to give people chances. I usually have a gut feeling when I meet someone. I have a gut feeling when I meet them, like, if they're going to be a good friend or if they're going to be an energy suck.
Yeah.
And there have been many times where I've tried to, like, get beyond the gut feeling, and I'm usually right in the end. So I just started being like, I'm not gonna spend my time. Like, I don't even have the energy for the friends that I like. Why am I gonna spend it on you?
Well, again, and it's just like, what, not that every friendship you have to get something out of it, but at the same time, you want to surround yourself with people that bring you up, and because there's so much, like, shit in the world. Like, why do you choose to bring more shit into your life when you don't have to? When you don't have to, where you can find friends or nurture the friendships that you already have. Like, there's no need to continue this toxic relationship.
Yeah.
For the glimpse and the hope that this one time you hang out, it's gonna be the good time.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's weird. That is very, like, yeah, like, weird, like, kind of like, yeah, it does kind of, like, give the vibe of, like, an abusive relationship of, like, oh, like, maybe
today's the day.
Yeah, which sucks that they've, like, manipulated the situation, like, that they've dug their nails so deep in you that you, like, can't end the friendship. Like,
and like, do they have something on you?
Yeah.
Now I'm like, okay, here's my conspiracy theory. Do they have
something on you?
do they have something on you? Is it a blackmail thing almost, where it's like, if we break up, if you will, they're gonna say something. They're gonna let my secret free. They're gonna go around telling people my secret.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's scary.
Yeah. You know what? That's probably why your one friend that is no longer a friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually really makes sense, because your one friend, who I never liked, tried to give a chance to, but didn't like.
Yeah.
Gut feeling kicked in, and I remember they actually had dirt on me from a trip we went on.
Oh shit.
Not like dirt, but like,
yeah,
an embarrassing story that like I wouldn't really want the whole world to know.
Right.
And then they like, I think they've always kind of known that I don't vibe with them.
Yeah.
They definitely know now. 100% know now. There's no. Yeah. but like they ended up telling a bunch of people this story about me that was embarrassing. Which literally, like, it's not a big deal. Like, I literally I had like a drunken naked night.
Yeah, right. You know, it is.
And it's unfortunate.
It was my bachelorette party. Okay,
yeah,
it was fine.
unfortunate. It was unfortunate.
It was within four walls.
Things happened, and then she went and told everybody about it.
But that's the thing, though, is like, that's what she did, though. Like, that was the weird shit that person would do.
Mm-hmm.
And I never noticed it. Like, I never noticed that, the gossip, the continued gossip. I'm like, I wonder how many things she knows that she's telling people.
Dude, literally talked shit about you at your own wedding.
Yeah.
Actually.
Literally. Yeah.
I'm like, to me, you picked the wrong person to talk shit to.
Literally, they even talk shit to my face at my bachelorette party.
Yeah.
To my face. And I was like, I'm sorry, are we not cool? That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, man. But again.
But to your, what's the word? I guess, like, in your defense, you did end the friendship.
Yes.
You recognize the situation.
Yep.
And, if more people just recognize, like, oh, this person is literally sucking the energy out of me versus, like, giving me, like, literally, like, you can tell.
Yeah.
Like, when you hang out with a friend that you enjoy and that is good for you, you leave the situation feeling like, like, refreshed.
Yeah.
When you're hanging out with someone that is just not good for you, you feel completely exhausted after hanging out with them.
Exactly.
And yeah.
Why? What the point? The question I would love the answer to is why?
Why? And also, break up with them.
We're done.
Do we need to be the people that say break up with them? Break up with that friendship.
Break up with that friendship. Ooh, send us. I would love to get some, like, oh, should I break up with my friend? And like,
ooh, yeah, give us all give us the details.
The details, and we'll tell you whether to break up or to maybe give it a second chance.
Yeah. I'll tell you right now, though, if you're asking yourself that, end it.
But
I still want to know.
We still like to know, but you probably can guess what we're gonna say.
Yeah.
And what you probably should have already done. So,
yeah. And that's on friendships.
And that's friendships. That's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a really good hot take. Man, that can go so many ways.
It really can. I could go on for that. I really did go on for a long time, but I could keep going, honestly, forever. Because I overthink everything.
Yeah, because we overthink it.
Yeah.
Consistently.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us to hear more about popular and unpopular opinions about adult friendships.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely drop some hobbies.
Yes. Actually, please. I'm desperate.
Yeah, ask us about your friendships, if you should drop them or not.
Mm-hmm. And we need a Settlers of Catan
expert
here.
Somebody explain that to me, because fucking.
I mean, you could just send us an email. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Let us know. Let us know how to play that game. All right. Well, we'll see you next time.
See you on the flip side.